morning.
Good morning to you, Vic. Thanks so much for coming on the program, and we know how busy you are, and we really appreciate you being able to share your insights with the audience today. But those in the crowd that aren't that familiar with who you are, if you could give us a quick introduction of who you are and what you do.
Sure. Pleasure to be back joining the HITLAB community and the latest digital virtual symposium here. So thanks for the opportunity, Jerry. My name is Vic Tandon. I am Director for Health Innovation Product Strategy. So I lead a function within a small cross-functional team called Health Innovation Technology at Sheild of California. Our team is focused on really understanding opportunities for the application of emerging technology for us as a not-for-profit health plan. For those who are not aware, Sheild of California is a not-for-profit member of the National Blue Cross Blue Shield Association. We operate almost exclusively in the state of California, cover almost 4.9 million members in California and nationally. So excited to be here and excited to talk a little bit more about the opportunities of technology in healthcare today.
No, absolutely. And let's dive right into it. But being in the position you are and with your work at Blue Shield in California, we'd love to hear about some of the emerging trends in digital health technologies that you yourself believe are going to have a significant impact on the health industry in, say, the next 5 years to a decade or so.
Yeah, so it's those who try to prognosticate on the emergence of technologies and their application, particularly timing, are almost always wrong. So I'll preface what I have to say with that statement. So from my personal point of view, I see kind of technologies that's going to have impact kind of spanning from mundane to fantastic. So in kind of the near term, the more mundane technologies, if you can call it that, are those focused around the exchange of clinical and administrative information, mostly enabled through FHIR-based interoperability protocols and standards. And then kind of the use of those technologies enables a lot of will enable, in my opinion, a lot of transformation in terms of both care delivery and kind of administrative and operational processes between providers, members, and health plans. Looking a little bit, further term from interoperability is, in my opinion, artificial intelligence. Not necessarily the super sexy large language models, but more kind of classical machine learning techniques. I think the emergence of large language models and generative AI is actually having an interesting effect of kickstarting more interest in some of the classical techniques around machine learning and applying them to things like risk prediction, stratification, and the like. Fraud, waste, abuse detection, among a few use cases. And then longer term, kind of between that 7 to 10 year mark, in my opinion, are the application of large language models and generative artificial intelligence to do things like helping providers scribe ambiently the clinical interactions that they're having with their patients, to driving really tremendous amounts of hyper-personalization, whether it's in truly personalized benefit design, as an example, or more kind of proactive and preventative interventions enabled through things like digital twin. And I'll couch my kind of long-term, 7 to 10 year statement with a recognition that a number of U.S. health plans, particularly those that are publicly traded, Cigna, United Health Group, Anthem, and a number of recent earnings calls have started to talk about the transformative power of generative artificial intelligence for their businesses. But for me personally, I take those statements with a grain of salt, just kind of recognizing the tremendous amounts of uncertainty and complexity with actually applying the technology beyond some basic kind of co-pilot like functions that folks are starting to see embedded in enterprise applications like Microsoft Office and Google.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And in sort of the broader context of healthcare transformation, and again, another sort of looking ahead sort of question for you, Vic, in terms of sort of the future direction of digital health solutions, what sort of opportunities and challenges do you see that lie ahead right now?
Yeah, so I think context is really important. So the business imperative for really innovation across the healthcare ecosystem and the introduction of digital health technologies is rapidly transforming. and the way I say, there's two really factors that are converging in the environment. One is the continued rise and, in fact, acceleration in the cost of healthcare. So I was just reading, I think a few days ago, PwC released their projection for healthcare cost increases into 2025, and it's 8%. So we're talking something like 3 times the rate of annual inflation for other kind of consumer goods and services. And that's kind of coupled with, I think, seeing, particularly here in the United States, increasing intervention by legislators and regulators on the healthcare ecosystem. So it's been a bit of a long arc over the past 2 decades, going back to high tech and ARA to more recently some of the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services announcements around regulating prior authorization. And it's the confluence of these two factors, so rapidly rising costs of healthcare and a desire amongst regulators and legislators to more actively intervene in the healthcare market, that are creating both opportunities and challenges, I think, for both incumbents in healthcare enterprises as well as upstarts. So from an opportunity side, particularly for those who are developing digital health solutions, being able to anchor on your solution to driving value in those two dimensions, right? Helping incumbent plans navigate existing kind of regulatory and legislative landscape and kind of what is being required or asked of them, or having meaningful, demonstrable impact on cost of healthcare, I think present tremendous opportunity, right? From a business model standpoint, from a positioning standpoint, product market fit standpoint. The flip side of that, right, from a challenge standpoint, is really on kind of proving, delivering value, and I think that has been a challenge for quite a while in the digital health space, and many may have read or seen kind of the Peterson Health Tech Institute findings on digital diabetes management solutions that pretty much shut down the value of a number of those market solutions. So there's both promise and peril as kind of regulators and legislators kind of drive incumbents to take more proactive action on healthcare costs. But with that, market imperative, it makes it really, really challenging and important for emerging solutions to be able to provide demonstrable value to the customers that they're selling to.
No, I think some sobering points you definitely bring across, Vic. And just before we wrap up, I think it would be remiss of me if I wasn't to ask you, being with you having the experience that you have from a strategic standpoint, how important, and you mentioned this earlier around sort of the regulatory pieces that you were talking about, how important is it in terms of collaboration between sort of the tech providers, the healthcare organizations, and the regulatory bodies, and the importance of that collaboration in ensuring successful integration of digital health solutions right now?
In a word, that collaboration is critical. And so, as I said, my perspective is that legislative bodies, regulatory bodies are going to, in particular, continue to play a large outsized roles in influencing the kind of business context and strategic imperatives of incumbent organizations, whether they are in the healthcare delivery or financing side of the realm. And just recognizing, right, that healthcare is a complex system of systems, really. So kind of solutions in any one domain, whether it's the healthcare space, the provider space, or consumer space, will often have impact on other stakeholders. And it's just important to recognize, the second, third, fourth order effects of a particular intervention. And with that kind of complexity comes an imperative, really, to work closely together across the healthcare ecosystem in ensuring, right, that the highest quality, lowest cost, most accessible, interventions and healthcare opportunities are available to the patients that we're all serving.
Really wonderful insights there, Vic. And I'd like to thank you so much for taking some time to spend with us and share those insights around the importance of collaboration and your viewpoints and insights as to sort of what's going to lie ahead for transformation in healthcare with digital health solutions as well. And coming on, of course, on the early side, on the West Coast as well, I really, really appreciate it. Want to definitely have you back on the program again, Vic, but thanks so much for coming on, and wish you a good rest of the day.
Thanks so much, Jerry. Pleasure to be here, and hope a good time.
Cheers, Vic. Thanks so much.
Bye.